Welcome back to P10 Services. Before I get into the content of the video, I wanted to say thank you. Thank you to the engagement in the previous videos for the ideas and feedback on how to do things better. I apologize. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to making YouTube videos, and I'm learning as I go. So the audio issues, I switched to a lavalier mic, and I'm hoping that that will improve some of the sound quality. I'm trying to learn a little bit of editing, but for now, I'm just kind of a one-take shop. So thanks for watching and supporting and the feedback. If you've got more, keep it coming. I'm trying to learn and do better at this. And we'll get into the video now. So in this video, I'm doing a little bit of a toolkit tour, but this one, instead of the tools for handyman work, these are things that I use in the professional organization that I do. This is home organization, so working with neighbors and people in the area. I've helped family members to go through and go through their stuff. A lot of that process doesn't involve tools at all, but these are some that I find useful and that I keep in the stuff that you see in front of you here. So this is a great little Husky tool bag, and in it I keep a scraper. I've got a nice zipper pocket, and this is where I keep some of the go-to things. I guess this is technically not necessarily organization, although I use these, and I'll probably do a short and show this, but these 3M Velcro strips, they're great for hanging up pictures as long as your wall is flat and the picture isn't too big. And they're also great. What I like to do, if you've got like a silverware organizer, they almost never fit the drawer perfectly. So I will stick one of these or two of these on the bottom of the silverware organizer, and then the other side of it, I'll have two of them stuck together. And then I will stick it down in the drawer, and that will keep it from shifting as the drawer opens and closes. The adhesive and Velcro will keep it tight. You can still pull it out if you need to wipe down the drawer and get things out of the way. And if you're done with it, you can always remove these. But these are one of my favorite go-to products for just putting things in a spot that we can take down. We also use them for pictures in our house. We've got 6 little pictures that we swap out, or my wife swaps out every once in a while to update family photos. So they're good for that. You can also cut these in half if you want to be conservative and not use as many, and that can still work pretty well. So that's one of the 2 products I keep down here. The other is a kind of cable tie. There's a bunch of different ones, but these are the ones that I have used most. They're inexpensive, and they just have a little bit of Velcro. They come in a big string, and I'm just using one hand today because I'm holding the microphone again, trying to figure this whole thing out. So apologies if it looks a little awkward as I work through this. So that's what I keep down there. And then I don't think I've got anything else. Nope, nothing in those pockets except for some additional scraper blades for that plastic scraper. Around this side, I have a laser measure. So if I want to take dimensions on a room or something, I haven't used this a whole lot, but this is more convenient than taking out a tape measure to get measurements in a larger space. So I like the idea of it. I think it will be useful, but haven't used it yet, so I can't swear by it. This is just an inexpensive one. I know Bosch and other brands make ones that cost a little bit more. I've got a couple of screwdrivers in case I need to just open something up, switch some batteries, which I guess is not organization. That's just a convenience to have. A little pry bar if I need to get behind something. These are my favorite scissors. I keep some in my handyman bag as well because they are strong and spring-loaded and great. So, and they're very durable as well. So anyway, I keep those if I need to cut anything. Some Sharpies for marking, and these go together with just some masking tape. So I'll use these for just a quick throw up a label for either an area that we're sorting things or label on a box or something like that. So it's always good to have some Sharpies for that. This is just an Altoids tin, but it's a first aid kit. Put some Band-Aids in there. I have definitely cut myself working with clients and don't want to leave a mess or be bleeding all over their house. And on this side, there's another pocket, and this just has some extra label tape. So we'll take a look on the inside next, and this is where I keep my label maker. So there's a bunch of different brands. This one that I've got is a Brother one. There's other ones that are good. I've not had any issues with this. Some seem to really consume a lot of batteries, and so I've got the adapter for this one, but this one's actually been okay with not chewing through batteries. But what I did in here that's maybe a little different from what others do, because this has a bunch of different fonts and things that you can do, some sizes, and it's hard to just memorize that. I'm not using this all the time, so I put together a little cheat sheet, and this has got the different font sizes, the different font families. I just put the name on it, and then this is for the different tape colors, so I can show that to clients, or I can just reference it for what I want to or double checking myself if there's something that I'm thinking of doing to make sure that it's not going to look too weird and I don't waste tape in that way. So that's definitely used a bit. Labels. I don't use a ton of labels in my own home, but a lot of clients like them, and I do use them in a few spaces in my home. This is a version of the logo that I was doing for my business. I was going to call it Next Level Organization, but it turns out that local business name is not available, so I am going with P10. So anyway, that is my label maker. Moving on, it's always good to have Gugon. This was like an industrial size one that should last a long time. You just got to be careful that this kind of bottle can leak, but it's kept upright by the other stuff that's in my kit, so that's fine. This is some Loctite. Again, this is more of a handyman thing than organization, but I keep this in case I need to tighten down a thread on like the door opener or the door stopper for a pantry. If you've got one that can kind of twist to adjust how wide the door can open before the stopper comes in, they constantly shift, and after a week or two, you can have a door that's slamming onto things. A little bit of thread locker in there will keep it from shifting for a good long time. So that's what that's there for. Moving down, I've got a few rolls of tape, and then this is something that I really like. I'm gonna use two hands off screen for a moment. Pardon me as I open the case. These are claw hanger hooks, claw hooks from, these are 3M. There are other companies that make knockoff versions. I think these were the first ones I saw anyway. But these are fantastic. I've got a bunch of them in here, and I'll link to the stuff on Amazon that I've got. But these will just leave a couple of small holes in your wall. So they're better than drywall anchors in that regard. And even though it's a couple of small holes, because of the way they are angled in here, that curve, and sitting in the drywall, it would take a lot of force to push that down and tear through the drywall. So you get comparable strength depending on the wall anchor that you're using. These smaller ones have a capacity of 15 pounds. I think they actually go beyond that, but they've got 25 and larger ones as well. And they're super easy to put in, to reposition. You don't have to worry about patching holes in your wall. So I keep some of these in case there's anything that needs to be hung up. I've used many in my house and use those for clients as well. So that is definitely something I keep on hand. As far as other things in here, I've got a utility knife in case I need to open any packaging, and then this isn't PPE, but more to just help clients feel good that I'm respecting their home. I've got some boot covers, some shoe covers, and some gloves in case I am helping them go through something super dusty or cobwebs or whatnot. I don't want to be touching, or rat poop. That's sometimes an issue in areas where I'm helping clean out. So it's good to have that for protection. And then the last thing in here right now is this little tape measure. So handy for measuring a small space if you need to see what fits in there. And speaking of what fits in spaces, the other item that I wanted to walk through today is my box library. Patent pending on that name? No, probably not. That's just what I call it. So the idea of these boxes that are over here is that when you're in your space, or if you're like me, and I think about organization quite a lot, but when you're in your space, you may think, I wish I had a box for that. But then when you're out at a store or looking around, finding the right size box, like you can even double check the measurements, but and that's a great way to go, but it's just not something that I think about a lot. So what I have over here is a bunch of different sizes of boxes, some of my favorites that I use personally and others that I picked up that are affordable from different stores. So I've got a few from the Container Store. They're very expensive as boxes go. I mean, not crazy. If you buy them in bulk, then it's a few dollars a box, but that does add up over time. But the reason that I love these ones is the fact that they nest together. They're designed so that you can get different boxes, or not so much that they nest, but that they are modular. So you can get different sizes of boxes that will stack nicely on them. So like this one, we use at our house for decorations. We keep those in the basement, and the fact that the box is clear, we can see what's going on as far as what's stored in there, what season it is, and we just pull them out and switch them out as the seasons go on. I've got some other boxes, and I won't go through all of these right now. Maybe I'll do that in another video. But this one's from IKEA, this one's from Walmart, like a small parts organizer, and just a different size box with a different style. A couple more. This one is actually from Lowe's, just a couple bucks, but we use these for like Barbie clothes and accessories for the kids, and for a couple other things too. It's just a different size and a good size, and $2 is pretty good for a box like that. This one is from IKEA, and oops, sorry about the bang. You can see what the name of the product and the cost, at least at the time that I picked it up. And the idea of this is I can go to somebody's house and they're looking to get organized, but they're not sure all of the things. And I can leave this with them for a little while so that they can test out, or maybe while I'm with them, if I don't want to leave it there, we can go through and say, let's see how these boxes fit on your shelf or in your cabinet or in your space. And then we can go through and know what fits there in the moment and then switch them out. So again, Container Store on this. This is actually our most used size box in my house because this will fit papers with a little bit of extra space around there, and it fits all kinds of other things. So toy storage and other things. We probably have like 30 of these in my house. Little photo case in the bottom there. I don't know if you can see that very well. But those are most of the styles. I've got a couple others that I will just show briefly in our big box. And sorry, I'm trying to do it all at once, and I realize that it is probably not coming through perfectly, so I appreciate you bearing with me as I do my best here. So this is something else. This is a tray from IKEA that can also be a lid for certain boxes, but sometimes a tray is nice, so got that there. A couple other size boxes in this space as well. These are, and they all have different kind of feelings to them. It's nice when you can handle it like this. It's got a little bit of flex in it, so in some situations that may be good. In general, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I got it just to show an example of what it could be like. But as far as style goes, and the last kind of different product that I keep in here, these can be great for a lot of things. Like you can have it upright for, well, you're always going to have it upright, but you can do papers in here, but you could also do this in like a pantry and do cans sideways and stack them and use vertical space. That's one of the biggest things. I'll talk about it more in other videos as I talk about how to organize. I'm sure that's a topic I will address more, but using your vertical space can increase your storage hugely. You know, door racks and storing things under the bed, and there's so many different applications for how you can maximize your space. But anyway, I digress. This is what I wanted to show today. Just some of the tools that I use for organizing or to help other people get ideas for how they can organize their own space. So hopefully this was interesting. Again, thank you everybody who's been watching and commenting and giving feedback. I'm trying to make it better, so hopefully this one is a step up from where I've been. But I appreciate all of the support, and I'll see you in the next one.